What's going on, everyone? When it comes to Los Angeles Lakers, the goal is to pull off some sort of trade, right? They want to move off of Russell Westbrook. It looks like his time with the Lakers is coming to an end, and all of the writing is on the walls. Now, obviously, the Lakers have several options in which they could explore for a potential trade, but the LA Times came out with a post talking about how Rob Pelinka has been reluctant in trying to acquire assets in exchange for the 2 first-round picks. That, obviously the Lakers are more than willing to give up 2 firsts if it's a trade that requires acquiring Kyrie Irving, then yeah, they'll give up both first-round picks. But for like the Indiana deal or like the Knicks deal or Utah or various of the other trades, they have not wanted to give up both first-round picks. And I guess based on this report, that all across the league, people are surprised that the Lakers would not be willing to give up both firsts in order to acquire some assets, right? Especially like the Indiana deal, stuff like that. Now, Kyrie Irving makes all the sense in the world. You give up both firsts if you have to. He's a game changer. He's a guy that offers and provides things that none of the other trades you could currently get are going to give you. He's a guy that is literally game changing. He's a guy that can handle the scoring load, that would make you arguably the best big three in the league, hands down. You're automatically a title contender. Like, yeah, you could use some more shooting, but a Kyrie, Anthony Davis, and LeBron James healthy, nobody wants to play those three. Nobody wants to play that team. That has more than enough scoring, more than enough versatility. But outside of Kyrie Irving, what is the incentive to give up both firsts? And I don't think it's that the Lakers care about the first round picks. A lot of people think, F them picks. Why is Rob Pelinka being so stingy with the picks? And it's like, it's not about trading the picks. It's what are you getting of value that makes it worth trading those picks, right? As much as the Indiana Pacer deal makes sense, right? Miles Turner, Buddy Hield. And I do think that this is the other trade that they would give up both firsts for. I think if push came to shove, they would. They'd be able to move off of Westbrook. You get a Miles Turner, you get a Buddy Hield. This deal isn't going anywhere, right? I mean, nobody's banging on the door for Miles Turner or Buddy Hield. It's nothing against them as players. It's just they're in different situations. Like, Miles Turner is a free agent. How many teams want to run that risk of him just leaving? And then when it comes to Buddy Hield, he's got a, like $40 million owed over the next 2 years. And does he really move the needle for teams? I mean, look at like guys like Duncan Robinson, who all he provides is shooting. And unless he's shooting lights out, is he really worth anything? What else does he offer you? What else does he provide? But when it comes to even this trade, it doesn't guarantee that they're a contender. And now nothing is guaranteed, of course. But Kyrie Irving is about as close to that as possible. A healthy Anthony Davis, healthy LeBron James, healthy Kyrie Irving. Good luck trying to beat those guys in a 7-game series, especially if they're all dominating and working on all cylinders and everything is just working smoothly. You're not going to beat them in a 7-game series. That team is ridiculous. And they have the young talent, and they have the athleticism, and they have the defensive guys around those three to really make it difficult for teams. Now, obviously, anything can happen, but in a 7-game series, I'll take my chances on that big three. When it comes to Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, you don't get that same near contender. I still think that they would be in many people's eyes, but how great is the Miles Turner-Anthony Davis duo going to work? Buddy Hield, does he start? If he starts, it's a liability defensively. So does he come off the bench? So now you're paying $40 million for a guy to come off the bench. He messes with your future cap flexibility. Indiana, you're kind of doing them a solid. It's like, what else are you going to do? You're going to lose Miles Turner for nothing. So would you rather trade us and get a first for it, and we're taking Buddy Hield off your books? Give you a first, we'll give you a second. It's a win-win rather than give up both firsts. But Indiana is standing pat. They want both first-round picks. And the Lakers are looking at it as like, why? What is the point? Like, we are doing you a favor as you are doing us, because Miles Turner probably isn't going to stay with you guys and you get nothing. At least you get a first-round pick and you're clearing $40 million over the next 2 years off of your books. You're a rebuilding team. That would be good. That'd put you in a good position. So that's kind of the Lakers' logic as to why they're not willing to give up 2 first-round picks. Now, I do think, again, push comes to shove, they'll end up doing the 2 first-round picks. I mean, these 2 trades are the most likely trades that I could see the Lakers saying, all right, let's do it. But the only one that I feel guarantees, or not guarantees, but close to guarantees a championship is Kyrie Irving, right? And if he can get bought in, which I think he will be. I think you have him needing to prove himself to get a contract, got LeBron James to keep him under wraps and get the best out of Kyrie Irving. He's in LA, which he loves. He's, obsessed with Kobe Bryant. I just think all of those things, we're going to see a different type of Kyrie, at least momentarily. I think at least for a year, maybe two. My big concern with Kyrie is post-LeBron. When LeBron leaves, what kind of Kyrie are we going to get? Because if he's great and Anthony Davis is great still, then at least you have that duo to kind of build your team around and you don't really fall off. And now you're in like a rebuild mode or anything like that. And so that would be the best scenario. And then the Miles Turner, Buddy Hield thing. Buddy Hield, the following year might be easier to move off of. But if you give up your first round pick, how do you do that? Somebody going to take Buddy Hield for a second round pick, or you're going to take on bad salary, stuff like that. Miles Turner, you run the risk of him leaving you, right? Like, what if he doesn't like it there? What if it doesn't work out with Anthony Davis? And then you traded both first, and Miles Turner just says, yeah, I'm out of here. And what if Kyrie doesn't come? Now you get nothing. Now you basically just gave away your first. This is where the dilemma lies. It's not that Rob Pelinka's like, oh, I need to hoard and protect these picks with everything that I have. No, it's what are you getting? How much improved does it make the team? And what is the risk? And the risk is Miles Turner leaving you and you're stuck with a $40 million contract. That's the risk there. At least with Kyrie Irving is such a game changer that's worth the risk. And you're looking at that as like, where else is he going to go? No other team is going to sign him. We're probably not going to have to give him a max. Where is he going to go? If we get him and we trade for him, we don't have to worry about him leaving. We don't have to worry about anything because he has no other teams that want him. He's got LeBron. He's where he wants to be. You're in a good place. You get a guy like Joe Harris that's basically the same contract as Buddy Hield, but the difference is you got Kyrie Irving, and you'd have Kyrie Irving's bird rights, all of that stuff. So you're in a good place. You're in a good position. Now, the other trades, like the New York Knicks deal and the Jazz deal, again, you're trading for older guys. What are their tradability in the future? Here's the other thing, too, about Miles Turner, is he's still young enough to where 4 years from now, he's still an asset that you could probably use to trade because he'd only be 31 years old and he'd probably be on a pretty solid contract. And the salary cap is supposed to go up in 2025. So by that point, Miles Turner might be on an incredible contract and it makes it easy to move. Buddy Hield is an expiring contract of 2 years. So if it doesn't work out, you could just let him go or re-sign him on a smaller deal. You have flexibility. You have deals there. Kyrie Irving, if you win a championship, you win, right? Who cares? Like you won the deal, right? And then when it comes to Joe Harris, same thing. He's expiring contract of 2 years. So there you go. You got money off the books again. But like the Utah deal, if you get, Bogdanovich, he's older. What's his trade value like? Are you signing him long-term because he's an expiring contract? Same thing with Patrick Beverley. What's his trade value? How long are you signing him for? Jordan Clarkson, Jordan Clarkson's great, but is he a guy that is worth, a first or multiple assets or things like that? Probably not. He's not the most efficient scorer, the most efficient sixth man. So it's like, how valuable is he going to be, especially as he gets older, stuff like that. Again, pieces that are what do you get? Like, do they make you a contender? No. And not only do they not make you a contender, they're not pieces for the long haul, And same thing with the Knicks deal. Like Julius Randle, he was worse than Westbrook last year. If you go and get a guy like Julius Randle, what is his fit? Anthony Davis wants to play the 4. You can't play Randle at the 3. He's the reason he's good is because he can play the 4 and he's a good rebounder and stuff like that. If you get the Knicks Randle from 2 years ago, then that's a steal. But there's no guarantee that that's the guy. Evan Fournier, again, another another Buddy Hield, Joe Harris contract. It's just, he's an expiring contract 2 years. Like, all of the other deals, none of them improve your team in a way where it's worth giving up the second round picks. And who knows what tomorrow's going to bring? What if, Bradley Beal starts the season and come the trade deadline, he's like, I want out and I want to go to the Lakers, or Damian Lillard. Right? What if Damian Lillard just says, you know what? I'm tired of writing it out here. Look, I need you to trade me. Damian Lillard, if he went to Portland and said, I want you to trade me to the Lakers, as loyal as he has been, I think Portland would do that just out of respect for Damian Lillard. And now you have no picks and you went and did a Utah deal or whatever, and now you're screwed. Like every 6 months, there seems to be a new disgruntled star that wants out, that wants to be traded. And if you just go and make a trade just for the sake of making a trade, you could really paint yourself into a corner and you really lose potential for what's to come tomorrow. Now, of course, maybe nothing comes, but do you really want to run that risk just to get some, rotation guys that hold no value or mess up your future cap space flexibility, stuff like that? I just don't see that being the best case scenario. I just don't think that that's the route that they would want to go. I just think that that's why he's so reluctant to give up the 2 first-round picks. It's because it's like, what are we getting back that's worth that? It's not that he thinks the picks are extremely valuable, because who knows where they're going to be in 2027, 2029. Hopefully you're not a terrible team where it's like you need those picks. Hopefully you're a team that's good enough to where those picks are irrelevant. But it's about what are the assets you're getting back. Obviously, the Lakers want to move off of Russell Westbrook. They need to move off of Russell Westbrook, but you don't want to do a deal just to do a deal and it sets you back. You don't want a Luol Deng, Timothy Mozgov situation all over again where, we just got done paying Luol Deng. So it's like, don't do that again. Learn from your mistakes and move on. But as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. What do you think? Do you agree with this? Do you disagree with this? What do you think it is? Why the Lakers aren't giving up the 2 first-round picks? If you don't agree with why I believe that that's the case, however you feel about it, I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Are you on the camp of like, hey, trade Westbrook, I don't care how, I don't care for what, just move him? Or are you like with me where it's like, yeah, move them, but not if it means ruining your future, not if it means ruining future cap flexibility. Would you also give up 2 first-round picks in the Buddy Hield Miles Turner deal? Do you think that would be enough to make us a contender and actually move the needle? Do you worry about the risks of, again, Buddy Hield, if he's having an off shooting year, he's basically irrelevant, and Miles Turner, he could just leave you the following year. Is that something you'd really be willing to give up 2 firsts for? Again, however you feel about it, love to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. That being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification. Stay up to date with all things sports. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.